really difficult for you to build a business. Just, personally, me and my wife, our situation at the house was not good at all. It was really difficult. It was really bad, as a matter of fact. Okay, there was a lot of fights, there was a lot of screaming, there was a lot of kicking. Thank God there wasn't any punches. But the situation wasn't right. And the thing is that if situation at home is not right, you gotta fix it. Because don't you guys agree that we have a very positive message that we need to spread into a very negative world?
Yes.
So just imagine one thing, okay? Here you have a very positive message that you need to spread into a very negative world, but and on top of you dealing with all the negativity that we have to deal with, on top of that you also have to deal with stuff at home. It's really, really difficult. So, our business changed when, I'll give you our testimony. Our business changed when we became Christians. When we received, the Lord in our heart. That's what really made it to us. Okay? Even though I cuss every now and then. But I swear to you guys, our life completely changed, after that point. Our situation as a marriage, changed. As a matter of fact, we actually separated for about 7 months. 7 months, she said, you know what, screw it, we're going to Mexico. She actually left, went to live in Mexico for about 7 months. During that time, that's when I became a Christian, started reaching out to her. And eventually she says, she decides to come back, and boom, the rest of it is history. And you have no idea how much I love my situation in my life. I don't know how many of you guys can actually say that you actually love your situation with your wife or your spouse. I love my wife. She is my best friend. Okay, and it all begins right there. And I don't think that people can really build a great business if you have a lousy, family situation at the house. So for us, that's where everything begins. Okay, so now let's take it to business. First of all, guys, I believe that you have to be intentional about everything. Okay, so one of the things that I always talk about is this. People talk about having goals, right?
Right.
But have you guys ever wondered what if you have the wrong goal? Because people say you gotta have a goal, you gotta have a goal. Okay, great, I have a goal. And let's say that, my goal is to close, $10,000 in personal production every single month. Okay, but see, my goal is to do $10,000 in personal production every month, right? But I want to be a millionaire. Will that ever happen?
Nope.
No, it won't. See, people talk about having goals, great, but ask yourself, what if it's the wrong goal? What if it's the wrong goal? It's just like people say, you know what? I want to be my own boss. I want to own my own business. I want to be financially independent. I want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. But they're looking for a job with good benefits. Does that make any sense? No. See, they know where they want to get. But why do people have the wrong goal? So it all begins with having the right goal. So let me tell you how everything happened, how everything changed for us, guys. Okay? I don't have a presentation. I wish I could have put it together, but there's this presentation that I show that. Forgot what year it was, but I'll give you the numbers. This year, we had 40 licenses in the base shop. And that particular month, I think it was January 2000, I can't remember. 40 licenses. Our cash flow was $5,000 for the month. A year and a half later, okay, we had 200 licenses or 240 licenses. And our cash flow was $45,000 for the month. Now, how did that happen? A year and a half later, I'll tell you exactly how it happened. First of all, we changed our philosophy. We said that recruiting will be the name of the game for us. But why was recruiting the name of the game for us? Because this is something that I noticed, okay? I actually sat down with my guys and I said, look, you know what? It's important that people study leaders. It's important that people study the winners, okay? And you gotta know what they do, how they behave, the actions they take, and all of what their focus are. And this is something that we did. We said, okay, you know what? Let's find out who are the top producers in Arizona. So we went into Arizona Leaders Bulletin and we checked who were the top leaders back then. And I said, and I wonder who has the biggest licensed base shop in that state. Oh, happens to be the same person. I said, you know what, let's go to New York. Let's see who the top producer base shop in New York is. And then, you know what, let's find out who the biggest licensing team in New York is. Oh, it's the same guy. Okay, now you know what, now let's go to Florida. Let's find out in Florida who is the biggest producing base shop in Florida. And then I say, you know what, now let's check, who's the biggest licensing team in Florida. Oh, same guy. Now let's go to California. Who's the biggest, bass shop, producing bass shop in California? Oh, okay, now let's see. I wonder who happens to be the number one in, licensing team. Happened to be the same guy. So what did we do, guys? It was very simple. For us, we said, guys, this is exactly what we're gonna do. We're going to play catch up. That's what we're gonna do. So this bass shop has, let's say 150 coats, 200 coats. We got 40. How can we compete with a bass shop like that? See, this is what a lot of people sometimes they do. You want to compete with a bass shop, and let's say the bass shop is doing, $50,000 or $100,000 in premium, and your average is 10, and you want to compete and do 50. You know what a lot of people do? Their logic says, okay, you know what, guys, all right, we're gonna start things off. We're gonna do competition. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. You're gonna do 10. You're gonna do 10. I'm gonna do 10. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that, and then we're gonna beat those guys. Maybe that's what a lot of people do. That's what we did. But you know what? That was a bad proposition. Because what are the chances of us beating, that bass shop that's doing $50,000 in premium? See, one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that people see the $100,000 in premium, the $200,000 in premium, the $300,000 in premium, but sometimes people forget to look. I wonder how many soldiers they have within that bass shop. So a lot of people, what they do is they want to compete. Okay, they're doing 50, we're averaging 10. Guys, let's go ahead and kill them. You get to your office, you try to put the game plan together. We're gonna kill those guys. This is what we're gonna do. That's exactly what we're gonna do. And then guess what's gonna happen? Do you have any chances of actually beating that bass shop if that bass shop has, let's say, 150 coats and you got 40? The answer could be maybe, but that's gonna be one time or two times. It will be a spike. It will be every once in a while, but it will not be definitely. So what we did was this. We were being challenged. You know what? Oh, you guys are dead. Okay, whatever. I told the guys, I said, look, you know what? Those guys got 150 coats, we got 40. Why don't we play catch up? Let's play catch up. So by the time we get to 150, if we're not doing exactly what they're doing or more, come see me and tell me what happened. And what did we do? I said, okay, recruiting is gonna be the name of the game for us. Why? Because you cannot have massive licensing if you're not focused on massive recruiting. So what do we do? I said, okay, so we got 40. First goal is for us to get to 50. And then once we got to 50, okay, guys, now we need to get to 75. All right, guys, now what we need to do is now we need to get to 100. This is what happens, guys, okay? You got to play your game, and you got to play your chapter. And many times the reason why a lot of people don't win is because there's a lot of frustration going on in your life. Because you try to compare your situation with somebody else's situation. Okay? The thing that you gotta know is that, look, you might be on chapter 3. I don't know, Mario and Friday, they might be on chapter 10. You know what you need to do? You need to play your chapter 3 the best possible that you can so that you can eventually go to chapter 4 and put your head down and focus on your game and kind of like block yourself from everybody else and just do that. I have certainty that we will become $1 million hierarchy. I don't doubt it, I know it, it will happen. Because the same thing that took us to get the ring, the second diamond, the third diamond, the fourth diamond, it's exactly the same thing that's going to take us to get the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, and eventually the 20th and the 25th. Does that make any sense? But there's a few things that we also have to work on, okay? So first of all, it all started by us saying, you know what? Recruiting will be the name of the game. Are we going to be criticized? Yeah, you better believe it. They might say, you know what? These guys are recruiting a bunch of people. They're doing any production. You know what? Just let them talk. We're coming. Because our guys haven't got licensed yet, and the ones that did, they haven't matured yet. Just give us some time. And I don't know where my time is. Okay? So, okay, got it. So, that's what we said. Play catch up. Now, we needed to attract people, but we also needed to retain people. And this is what happened, guys. We were attracting people, but we were not retaining as much people. And this is the reason why. We didn't have a good environment. Having a great environment, guys, you have to be very intentional about it. A great environment, guys, it is not simply going to happen just because you have a lot of people. Yes, it helps if you have a lot of people, but you can start to have a great environment with 10, 15 people, and that will be the foundation of you starting to build something from that point on. But you cannot have a great environment if you're not intentional about the environment. Meaning, like, do you have people greeting? Do you have people like saying hi to other people? Do you have people smiling? I mean, do you like if people are negative, do you say something about it? See, one of the things I was afraid of, I didn't like to confront people. I read a book that changed my life. It's called The E-Myth. I highly recommend you guys read this book. It tells you the difference between working in your business versus working on your business. Working on the environment, guys, was the thing that helped us retain the people. So we focused on massive recruiting, and we said if we do massive recruiting, we're going to do massive licensing. And then if we do massive licensing, then it's game over. We continue to have a great environment, then this is what's going to happen. People are going to feel great to be in our environment, so that we just wanted to keep people long enough for them to eventually make a decision to say, you know what, I'm sick and tired, I've been sick and tired, I'm going to make a decision and I'm going to go ahead and win. Many times, people feel like crap in an environment because maybe they're doing zeros, or maybe the leaders make them feel like shit, like crap, because they're doing zeros. Right. Guess what? In our environment, we don't do that. We just simply recognize the ones that do something and the ones that don't want to do anything. It's a voluntary army. It's up to them. Does that make any sense? But if you have that kind of environment, guess what? You retain people long enough because they like the environment, so that eventually they say, you know what? I'm sick and tired, been sick and tired. That guy joined after me. I think it's my time, and eventually they make the decision and then they win. And that's how little by little you keep on retaining more people, your goals continue to grow, and all of a sudden, guess what? You don't focus on cash flow, and all of a sudden cash flow happens, guys. Okay, thank you so much. It took extra time. Talk to you guys later.